we almost end our chapter, but we have to think of an extra information. How can we detect if our kidneys are diseased? Now, what if a person has diabetes? What is diabetes? Diabetes is an abnormality in the regulation of glucose in our body, where glucose increases more than its normal value, as we said before, which is 1 gram per liter. Now, as soon as this amount of glucose increases more than 1.7 grams per liter in our blood, which is basically due to a malfunction in the pancreas or the liver, which are the regulators of blood glucose, the kidneys think that there's something abnormal and that they have to get rid of this glucose because now it's in a high concentration. And then they will start eliminating glucose through urine. So if I can detect the glucose that is found in urine, which is normally should not be found in urine, then the person has a sickness called diabetes. Now, is this good? For sure not, because as soon as glucose starts going through the nephrons and pass through the nephrons into the urine to go to the urinary bladder, then we have a serious disease which can cause a damage of the nephrons. And then when the nephrons are damaged, we can see other products found in urine, like proteins. So if we have a high amount of proteins in the urine, we can see that, or we can say that the nephrons are damaged. There is a damage in the nephrons. And why would we have a high amount of proteins in urine? If you adopt a high protein diet for a long period of time, like some sportsmen do when they have bodybuilding or when they take extra amount of proteins, they might damage their kidneys. And then we can talk about kidney stones. What are kidney stones? They are calculi or calcium deposits that are found in the nephrons, and they form like small stones which can interrupt the process of urination and cause severe pain. And this is also a serious disease which comes from a low amount of water intake. And that's why we should take care of our kidneys. How should we take care of our kidneys? Through drinking a high amount of water per day. Around 2 liters of water per day should be taken to maintain the health of our kidneys and to take out all the deposits and all the waste products from our kidneys. However, in certain cases, when a person has a failure in his kidneys, we say that he has a kidney failure, where the kidneys are not functioning anymore due to the damage of the nephrons, we have to go to the hospital and seek medical help, where a person sits on a dialysis machine and they connect his blood to this machine that plays the role of the kidneys by eliminating the waste outside his body and regulating his internal medium. And this would be done like 2 times per week or 3 times per week, depending on the severity of the case. And for sure it will not be as efficient as having natural kidneys in a person, but you have to seek help whenever there is a problem, and that is through sitting on a dialysis machine, which a person might spend like 5 to 6 hours per day for 2 times or 3 times per week on a dialysis machine to clean up and to regulate his internal medium. By this, we end the chapter about the urinary system. As a conclusion, we can recall that our urinary system has this organization: 2 kidneys, which purify the blood from toxic wastes, which regulate the internal medium, especially water and mineral ions, and then they conduct this urine through the ureters to the urinary bladder, where it is stored and expelled outside through the urethra. Any disorder in the kidneys would lead to a deficiency in their function. These disorders, we talked about 3 disorders: diabetes, which causes an increase in the amount of glucose in the blood, causing the kidneys to release glucose through the urine outside our body. And as you know, in the first chapter, we learned how to test for glucose by the Fehling's test. But here there is also another technique, which is by the use of strips, that we put some urine on these strips and then we can detect the presence of sugar and we can know the amount of glucose in our blood and how severe our situation is. There's also another test, which is the digital test. As you know, they put a drop of blood on the machine, on the strip, and then enter it into the machine where it gives a direct value of the blood glucose. Another disorder is the damage of the nephrons, where we see that proteins which are normally not found in urine, they are expelled outside the body, and we can know that this person has a damage in the nephrons. And a third idea goes to kidney stones, where the low amount of water intake allows the calcium carbonate and the calcium products to precipitate in the kidneys, forming calculi or stones, which will disrupt the function of the kidneys and leading for a person to sit on a dialysis machine. Thank you very much, and we will learn in the coming activity what are the applications on this chapter, and you will be handed out on your Google Classroom. Thank you.